John Rhys-Davies is a Welsh actor and voice actor. He is perhaps best known for playing the dwarf Gimli in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the charismatic Arab excavator Sallah in the Indiana Jones films. He also played Agent Michael Malone in the 1993 remake of the 1950s television series The Untouchables, pilot Vasco Rodrigues in the mini-series Shōgun, Professor Maximillian Arturo in Sliders, King Richard I in Robin of Sherwood, General Leonid Pushkin in the James Bond film The Living Daylights, and Macro in Claudius. Additionally, he provided the voices of Cassim in Disney's Aladdin and the King of Thieves, Man Ray in SpongeBob SquarePants, and Tobias in the computer game Freelancer. Early life: Rhys-Davies was born in Manford, Wales, the son of Welsh parents Mary Margarita Phyllis Jones, a nurse, and Rhys-Davies, a mechanical engineer and colonial officer. He spent much of his childhood in his mother's hometown of Manford, although he was also brought up in Tanganyika. He was educated at Rose School and at the University of East Anglia, where he was one of the first 87 students admitted, and where he founded the Dramatic Society. After teaching at Wotton County Secondary School in Norfolk, he won a place at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Career: although appearing sporadically on UK television in the early 1970s, Rhys-Davies first gained widespread popularity for his performance as Praetorian Officer Naevius Sertorius Macro in Claudius. He then began to appear more frequently, and not just in the UK, with roles as a Portuguese navigator Rodrigues in the 1980 television miniseries Shōgun, based on the novel by James Clavell, and in the Indiana Jones movies. In 1989, Rhys-Davies also starred in another James Clavell adaptation, Noble House, set in Hong Kong, in which he plays Ian Dunross' corporate enemy, Quillian Gaunt. He has since appeared in numerous television shows and miniseries, including Agent Michael Malone in the 1993 remake of the 1950s television series The Untouchables, as well as a leading role in the television series Sliders as Professor Maximillian Arturo from 1995 to 1997. He also appeared in Riley, Ace of Spies in 1983, made several appearances on Star Trek, Voyager as a holodeck version of Leonardo da Vinci, starred as an ally of James Bond in The Living Daylights, and appeared in the movie One Night with the King. Davies has played the character Porthos in two separate projects. A two-part episode of The Secret Adventures of Jules Verne and the Hallmark Channel movie La Femme Musketeer. He appears in the full-motion video cutscenes of computer games including Ripper, Dune 2000, and the Wing Commander series. He has also appeared in a number of Sci-Fi Channel original movies. In 2004, he starred in The Privileged Planet, a documentary that makes the case for intelligent design. And in 2013 appeared in the family history program Coming Home, where he discovered information about his grandfather's life, in the Carmarthenshire coal mines. The Lord of the Rings trilogy. He is also known for his popular portrayal of the dwarf Gimli in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The cinematography of the films was aided in that Rhys-Davies is taller Euro 6 ft 1 in, compared to the actors playing hobbits at around 5 ft 6 in. Therefore, whereas his character was supposed to be short, he was properly in proportion compared to the hobbit actors. Had he been of more similar height, shots of the entire fellowship would have required 3 camera passes rather than 2. Rhys-Davies is the only one of the 9 Fellowship of the Ring actors who did not receive a tattoo of the word 9 written in the Tengwar script. His stunt double, Brett Beatty, got the tattoo instead, as Rhys-Davies was disinclined to get one himself. The other members of the cast are Sean Astin, Sean Bean, Billy Boyd, Ian McKellen, Dominic Monaghan, Orlando Bloom, Viggo Mortensen, and Elijah Wood. The got the same tattoo. Rhys-Davies suffered severe allergic reactions to the prosthetics used during filming, with his eyes sometimes swelling shut. When an interviewer asked him whether he would consider returning to the role for the film version of The Hobbit, he said, "I've already been asked, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't. I have already completely ruled it out. There's a sentimental part of me that would love to be involved again. Really, I am not sure my face can take that sort of punishment anymore." He added that this time around they've got a different set of problems. Because you've got 13 dwarves, a whole band of them. You're trying to represent a whole race. You're trying to do for dwarves what the Lord of the Rings did for hobbits. Voice work. In addition to voicing the Entry Beard in Lord of the Rings, Rhys-Davies has also lent his distinctive deep, Welsh voice to many video games and animated television series, including playing the role of Hades in Justice League and numerous times in Gargoyles, as the character Macbeth. He also lent his vocal talents to the games Freelancer and Lords of EverQuest and the game Quest for Glory 4, Shadows of Darkness, which was released with his narration on a CD-ROM version in 1995. He also made a voice role on Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance as the character Zhek, and narrated a documentary called The Glory of Macedonia. John Rhys-Davies' voice can be heard on the 2009 documentary Reclaiming the Blade. In the narration, Rhys-Davies explores swords, historical European swordsmanship and fight choreography on film, a topic very familiar to him from his experiences in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where his character Gimli wielded an axe in many scenes. In 2004, he was the unknowing subject of an internet prank that spread false rumors in several mainstream media sources that he was scheduled to play the role of General Grievous in Star Wars Episode III. Rhys-Davies is the narrator of the Truth and Life dramatized audio New Testament Bible, a 22-hour, celebrity-voiced, fully dramatized audiobook version of the New Testament which uses the RSVCE translation. In 2011, he presented KJB, the book that changed the world, which features him reading diverse snippets from the King James Version. Political views. Rhys-Davies holds politically conservative views. As a university student in the 1960s, he had been a radical leftist, but changed his views when he went to heckle a young local member of parliament, Margaret Thatcher. Rhys-Davies says that she shot down the first two hecklers in such brilliant fashion that I decided I ought for once to shut up and listen. Controversial statements. In 2004, Rhys-Davies stated the following in a controversial interview with a Welsh news website about the Muslim population, stating, "There is a demographic catastrophe happening in Europe that nobody wants to talk about, that we daren't bring up because we are so cagey about not offending people racially. And rightly we should be. But there is a cultural thing as well. By 2020, 50% of the children in Holland under the age of 18 will be of Muslim descent." His comments were endorsed by the British National Party. Rhys-Davies commented that the BNP could do no harm, describing it as peaceful yet stating it was distressing to find yourself on a BNP leaflet. He was also endorsed in a National Vanguard editorial. In an interview with the conservative journal National Review, he clarified that he is opposed to Islamic extremism precisely because he feels that it violates the Western values of equality, democracy, tolerance, and the abolition of slavery. Filmography, audiobooks, Sir Malcolm and the Missing Prince, references. External links, John Rhys-Davies at the Internet Movie Database, article about controversial statements January 18, 2004, Andrew Lee, No Sean Penn. National Review. March 5, 2004.